On the night of May 8, 2021, Malie Paralesh, known online as Pissed Pasta on TikTok, was driving home with friends after a lively evening out. It was around 2:30 a.m. when their car wound along Packer Drive Northeast, a quiet road beside the Rogue River in Belmont, Michigan. The group was still buzzing from their night when one of them noticed something strange.
What the f***?
Stop. No,
Stop.
I'm not. No. Hell no.
What the f***, dude?
Bro. They were so... Bro. What the f***? See? That was it. That was it. She's crying.
A shadowy figure crawling onto the road from the darkness. "What is that?" one friend gasped, voice tight with unease. "No way. Stop the car," another said, peering into the night. "That's not right." The figure was drenched, water pooling beneath them in the chilly 48 degrees Fahrenheit 9 degrees Celsius air. Hesitant but concerned, Malie and her friends debated what to do. They decided to loop back for a closer look. As their headlights swept over the scene, they saw her, a young woman maybe in her 20s or 30s, sitting in the middle of the road. She was either waving weakly at their car or clutching her head in distress, her clothes soaked through. "Oh my God, that's her," one of them whispered. "She's crying." The group circled back once more, hearts racing. This time, the woman had collapsed entirely, sprawled across the pavement. It was clear she needed help, but caution tugged at them. Could this be a trap? A robbery setup? Instead of approaching, they made the wise choice to stay in the car and dial 911. First responders and police arrived quickly, whisking the woman to a nearby hospital. A few hours later, Malie returned to the spot out of curiosity. The road was still wet where the woman had been, and near the riverbank, Malie noticed fresh claw marks in the dirt. It looked like the woman had dragged herself out of the water just moments before they'd driven by. Police later discovered the woman's car parked behind a house near the river, suggesting she'd fallen into the water on the east side and somehow swam across to the opposite bank. Malie also checked a local Facebook group, where residents shared unsettling accounts of the same woman. One person reported seeing her around 10:15 p.m. that evening between Vanham and Packer Woods. When offered help, she'd simply replied, "No," her demeanor strange and off-putting. The incident left Malie and her friends shaken, grateful they trusted their instincts and called for help, possibly saving a life that cold, eerie night. A report on the Westsiders Uniforms page mentions a man on Douglas Street who experienced a similar incident this week involving a woman entering his home. She walked in shouting, "Hello, hello, hello," before leaving abruptly. She was also seen wandering in the backyard. Her identity and how she ended up there remain unknown. Over the next few days, she regained enough clarity to tell investigators she was from Kalamazoo, a town over 60 miles away from Belmont, where she was found. Strangely, she had no recollection of driving to Belmont, which might seem odd but actually has a surprisingly reasonable explanation. On May 6, a 28-year-old Chinese student named Mei disappeared from Kalamazoo, only to be found 2 days later in Belmont. Just before vanishing, she had shared with friends her growing fear of being stalked. Naturally, this led to speculation that she might have been abducted and thrown into the river by this shadowy figure. However, police investigation revealed through a few witnesses that Mei drove to Belmont herself, casting doubt on whether the stalker even existed. The constant dread of being watched likely took a toll on her mental health, possibly triggering a dissociative fugue state, a rare condition where someone loses their sense of identity and engages in uncharacteristic behaviors. In some cases, individuals in this state relocate to new cities, create entirely new lives, and only later regain their memories. Disturbingly, they often have no recollection of their actions during the episode. This seems to be what happened to Mei. Overwhelmed by stress, she likely entered a fugue state, aimlessly drove for days, and ended up in the river. Miraculously, she regained awareness in time to swim to safety, narrowly escaping tragedy.